All right, we have finally done it. We have caught up to the manhunt that I showed off during the PTS. That's right. I have not been doing scout videos because I already showed all of the first 5 weeks of scouts way back during the PTS. So if you ever wanted to know anything about the scouts for the first, 5 weeks, you could have just went to that video and get all the hints. But now that we have officially caught up to that point, I felt like we should do a refresher because this week was pretty tricky with one of the activities during the Manhunt Scout. So not only am I going to give you a build to use for that, but I'm also going to explain all of the lore and all 5 weeks of riddles. That way you can catch up today because we are officially, halfway through the Manhunt, because next week we'll be over halfway. There's only 11 weeks, right? Let's see. So it says there are 11 weeks remaining. However, if you go to your Manhunts, you can see that there are only 5 weeks remaining. It only goes up to 11. And now we are on scout number 6. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to catch everyone up on the scouts. We're going to talk about the lore, and I will show you a build to use for today's week 5 activity number 2 for the Kelso Manhunt. But let's go ahead and jump through the intro. Here we go. What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, so sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But in today's video, we are going to go through week 1 through 5 of all of the Kelso Scouts. I will let you catch up on the lore, and we will talk about how to complete all of these and what builds you might have to use. So, with all that said and done, you know the whole spiel. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, looking at the manhunts, right? After you catch up, you should be sitting at 45% total. Now, going back to week 1, we're just going to go through all of these really quick. So week 1 was in East Mall. Now, just a reminder, East Mall is this part of the map right here. So everything for week 1 has to be done in the East Mall. So the first one is pretty simple. It's just American History Museum on any difficulty. So you can do this mission on any difficulty. It doesn't matter. I typically just do it on hard. That way I know for sure it counts, because I remember way back when, year 6 first started, the developers were saying that some of the journey things would only work if you did it on hard or higher. So that's what I typically do for everything now. Because it seems as if you do it all on normal, sometimes it might bug out. But that's activity number 1. So number 2, just 3 activities in the open world, anything in the East Mall. And then finally, activity number 3 for Scout 1 is just take out enemies with Shade Skill Seeker Mines. Now, how do you do this one? Okay, let me explain that one to you. So week 1, pretty simple. You do American History Museum. You come in here, you do 3 activities, whichever ones you want. And then the third one is Seeker Mine Kills. So what you can easily do is just switch to any sort of skill build, right? And you want to use Seeker Mines. More specifically, what I would do is put on the Cluster Seeker Mine. No matter what, as long as you're a tier 6 skill build, using the clusters will one-hit enemies challenging and below. So what I do, okay, super simple. To get those Seeker Mine kills in the East Mall, you just do American History Museum again, but do it on hard. Super simple. Just throw it on hard right there, and then just run in there, throw out your Seeker Mines, get those kills, and then that's it. Rinse and repeat. Or you could do Air and Space Museum. Just do it on hard, throw out your Cluster Seeker Mines, kill all of the enemies, rinse and repeat. Super, super simple. Or, if you have it unlocked, you could also do Capital Building. Do that on hard, throw out your clusters, get those kills, and you're good to go, right? So that's week 1 of the Manhunt Scout for Kelso. Week 2, we are in Southwest. So Southwest is just below this, just below the East Mall. It's in this little corner right here in the bottom right. Now for Southwest, what you have to do, number 1 is Space Admin HQ mission on any difficulty. Again, I typically just run it through hard, super simple, good to go. The next one is a bounty. So a bounty in Southwest, here's a few things. So for bounties, if you toggle over to bounty, you can pull one up right there. And you should have a clan bounty right now. So you should have a clan bounty right now. Not only that, but you should also have a contracted bounty as well for the week. Now the other two are random. Now these are just because I picked them up. So how do you pick up bounties for these areas? Well, it's kind of simple, but kind of not. So you would have to either find a rescue hostage operation, or you would have to find a public execution. So either one of those would pop up in this section, and then you would get a bounty for this section. However, like I just showed you, you do have clan bounties going on right now, and you also have the weekly contracted bounty going on right now. So you don't even have to find bounties for this area. They already give it to you this week. So lucky, lucky. And finally, for scout number 2 in the Southwest, we would take over the choke control point. So the choke control point is this one right here. Just go across the street from the castle. So I would fast travel to the castle, run across the street, take it out, and you're good to go. So that's already the first 2 scouts done. So scout number 3, this is the one that was bugged, but then they fixed it. All right, so we can go over it really quick. For scout number 3, we're in downtown East. So that's this section of the map right here for the theater. And in downtown East, what you have to do is complete a bounty. Any bounty, doesn't matter. So again, you can toggle over to your bounties. You can see your bounties that way. Or you can go into the open world, take out the public executions for a bounty. A bounty will drop as a reward. Or if you see these handcuffs right here, this is called a rescue operation. These also drop bounties for you. So what I would do if I needed bounties, I would fast travel to DUA. I would do the rescue operation and the public execution, get 2 bounties, and then toggle over to bounties and do it that way. Super simple. All right. Now for the next one, for scout number 3, eliminate hyenas. Now this is the one that was changed. So this was eliminate black tusk, but they did change it to hyenas. The reason being is everything on this map is hyenas. So you can take out the control points, you can go to Grand Washington, you can go to DUA. It doesn't matter. All of these enemies will be hyenas. However, if it's black tusk, because it's invaded, you can just toggle it right off. So go to mission settings, and you can just toggle it, boop, just like that. And now it's back to hyenas. So if you need quick hyena kills, what I would do is Grand Washington, put that crap on normal, on hard, super simple, good to go, right? Bada bing, bada boom. Let's see if I can toggle this back to, I cannot toggle it back to invaded. Whoopsie. Anyways, going back to scout number 3, the last one is just a red dragon control point. So what I would do, again, fast travel to DUA, and then just run up to the red dragon control point. And that will conclude scout number 3. So scout number 4, Federal Triangle. This one was all given to you. There were no like hidden riddles or anything. But Federal Triangle is this small area right here. It only has 1 control point, 2 missions, 1 safe house. And for Federal Triangle, you would take out the Navy Plaza control point. That's this control point right here. Now, what I did is I just fast traveled to the last stop safe house and then just ran across the street. Took out the Navy Plaza, bada bing, bada boom. The next one was donate resources. So this one was tricky because I was running it with friends and I was also calling for backup. So as soon as I took over the control point, I went to donate resources and one of my teammates did it, so it didn't count for me. So just a little FYI, a little tip and trick. As soon as you take over the Navy Plaza control point, make sure you are the one that donate resources, because that way you can knock out both of these instantly. But if your teammate happens to donate the resources, you will not get the, you know, the credit for it. So then, sadly, this is the only control point in Federal Triangle. So then I had to reset my control points and do it again, which kind of sucked, but it's a lesson learned, and now I know. Now, finally, for the Scout 4 Manhunt, you would just complete Jefferson Trade Center on any difficulty. So that's this mission right here. You can do it either on invaded or, like I showed you, you can toggle it off to normal, just like that. And then you can just run through it. I typically just do it on hard, just knock it out really quick. Good to go. And that concludes week number 4. So that brings us to this week, right? We are at week 5. Now, again, I've shown all of this, you know, weeks ago during that PTS. So this is just a big refresher for a lot of us because we already knew about the first 5 weeks ever since the PTS. But week 5 is on the other side of the map. So now we're going to Constitution Hall. Now, Constitution Hall is this big area right here. We have DCD, we have a few control points. Pretty cool. Now, as far as the Manhunt goes, the first one is you take over the Haunted House control point. That's this one right here in the top right. I like this control point a lot because there are so many things to loot around this area. It's really cool. So a haunted house is number 1. So number 2 is the tricky part, and I do have a build for you. Now, if you want a full build breakdown, you're going to have to let me know in the comments. But number 2 for the activity this week is you have to get marksman rifle kills. And that does not count as a team. You have to get these done by yourself. Now, it's not just a few kills, it is 50. You have to get 50 marksman rifle kills. So how did I do this? All right, let me show you the build I just threw together this morning, and it worked so well. Here's the build. It is a cookie cutter marksman rifle build with the ninja bike. What do I mean by that? Well, Breaking Point and Hot Shot have the highest bonuses for a marksman rifle build out of any set in the game. So putting this with ninja bike is a no-brainer. Not only that, but I am putting that with Perfect Headhunter, and we all know that Perfect Headhunter and Determined is like spaghetti and meatballs or whatever. You know, it's like yin and yang. It's perfect. Determined and Perfect Headhunter are chef's kiss because everything is a one-shot kill no matter what. Now, yes, I do include heroic when I say that. We're just walking through open world heroics and just one-shotting everything. Even the tanky sledgehammer bosses, it's one shot to take away the armor, one shot to kill. Super easy. I love this build. I am not a big sniper guy, but I know that as soon as I need sniper kills, I can put this build on, and it works so well. Now, just really quick, it's a ninja bike, 2-piece, hot shot, 2-piece, Breaking Point, and then the chain killer. It's the only way to put this build together in this combination with these numbers. The reason for that is the Breaking Point gives you 25% marksman rifle and 30 headshot, and so does hot shot. So both of those give you 30 marksman and 30 headshot. And then you're just pairing that up with the Perfect Headhunter, and really that's it. That's it. That's the build. If you want a full build breakdown, let me know. But here's a little sneak peek at what it does. Woo, man, we are doing headshots for days. Oh my God. We're on heroic right now. I'm doing a propaganda broadcast and a control point and a elite convoy all at the same time. Reload. Come on, there we go. Look at this, guys. This is heroic. Oh my God. Everything's getting one shot. Oh my God. Bye-bye. All right. Woo. Oh, there's more. Oh yeah, there's a propaganda broadcast. I forgot about this. Okay, hold on. See if I can get this guy. Yep, got him. Oh my God. Yeah. I do not like snipers, but this is fun. All right, So you catch the drift, okay? It works. It works very well. This is a really good build, all right? Now, for the scout, right, you have to do 50 marksman rifle kills. Just remember that it's all in Constitution Hall. So all 50 have to be in Constitution Hall. Now, what I was doing is there's like a little courtyard, like right here, outside of this control point, and that's where I just showed you that footage. I did like 3 activities just right there, all next to each other. It was crazy. And then I was able to actually take over the control point as well, all at once. Now that is just for activity number 2. And then activity number 3, well, just complete 3 open world activities in Constitution Hall, and you're good to go. That's it. So what I did is I took over the control point. That was 1 open world activity. There was a elite resource convoy, so that was number 2. And then, like I just showed you in that footage, I also did a propaganda broadcast. So I did all 3 at once. It was pretty damn wicked. And that, my dear agents, has caught. Yeah, you're caught up. That's it. You have completely caught up with all of the manhunts that we have shown since the PTS. Now that does leave us with 6 more, right? So we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So we have 6 more, and then we are done. But now it's time to talk about the good old collectibles. So these collectibles will give us more lore that connects the storyline with the DLC. Remember that the DLC is slated to be released at the end of the season. Like, they're doing a big push. The announcement is in, April, I believe? So, we have just under 11 weeks left on this season, which puts us around end of June. So if they do the big announcement in the end of April, like they're saying they are, and then they give us 2 months to build up hype, and then we get the good old DLC come June. Now back to the Manhunt. Let's talk about these collectibles. Here we go. So starting with Honeypot.
I met Faye.
How did that go?
Good. She's impressive.
Impressive?
I don't like lying to her.
So don't.
If I tell her the truth, she might walk.
Which truth? That I wanted you to seduce her? That you grew up with Nat and Mac? Or that you're falling in love with her?
Shut up, Keener.
No relationship founded on lies survives. Just be honest.
When did you get emotionally mature and insightful?
Sometimes people see what they want to see. But watching the Morettis and Thea with Morali, you can't help but envy that connection and want that for yourself.
Mac isn't the one that got away, Keener. You are. She doesn't deserve you.
It's not about what you deserve. Sometimes it is about what you want, what you need. What can I say? She's my honeypot.
Gross. Yeah, I miss sarcastic megalomaniac, Keener. Can we please go back to that?
Nice. Now, this was the first comm that we got during the scouts, and what this does is it reveals that Bridget Douglas, aka Viper, she is the informant for Keener, right? She's the hunter under Natalia, my bad. So Natalia Sokolova is she's the head of the Black Tusk, and she runs Diamond, which is the AI system for the Black Tusk and the White Tusk and all of that. Now, she grew up with Bridget Douglas. Now, both of them also grew up with Mackenzie Merritt. So Mackenzie Merritt, that's a part of the Merritt estate, which is the Incursion, okay? So the family from the Incursion grew up with the Douglases, which is, Bridget Douglas, Viper, her dad, all of that, and also Natalia Sokolova. Now, so all 3 of them are connected, and that's why all 3 of them are very close to each other, and that's also why Bridget Douglas is in the Black Tusk with Natalia as a hunter. But Viper, Bridget Douglas, also knows Keener. So she is the informant for Keener. She is trying to convince Fei Lao from the division to come over to the Rogue Network system to convince the Black Tusk that she's one of them and to, trick the president and or take him out, right? Now, all of this is stuff that we knew way back in season 4 whenever we were taking out Fei Lao and that Manhunt takeover mission. This is just peppering in some more details, just connecting the dots. Now, the next one is called Meet Cute. So this is when Bridget Douglas actually met Fei Lao. Now, yes, remember, Bridget Douglas is, a lesbian, and so is Fei Lao. Now, Keener did not actually know about this too much. However, he does find out during these comms, and this is when the whole romance started with Viper and Fei Lao. Now, yes, Fei Lao was working both sides. She was still a division agent, but she wanted to, work with Keener, get inside, understand all the, workings, and then go back to the division to take him out. Now, here is Meet Cute with Viper and Fei Lao.
Does Schaefer know your division? He never asked, and I didn't think it was worth bringing up until it was a problem. Smart. I like smart women. Me too.
You're not what she expected.
Spoiled brat socialite?
Straight.
Secret member of the lesbian mafia since 1993. It wasn't really good for Daddy Douglas's business.
I understand. I hate it, but I understand.
What do you think about her?
I think she's dangerous for you.
She wouldn't betray us.
I couldn't agree more. Just try not to sleep with her.
That could blow our cover. Okay, the Black Tusk is like the Olympic Village. Just beautiful people in peak condition having orgies because there's nothing else to do between fights.
Do what you have to, but don't lose focus.
So basically, Bridget Douglas, Viper, she's like pushing the fact to Keener that, hey man, the Black Tusk is just a whole bunch of people who work out, they're in peak condition, and they just have orgies. Pretty funny. Not only that, but that's where Keener finds out that Viper is a lesbian, and this is also where we find out that Viper likes Fei Lao. Now, not only that, but they do mention Schaefer. Remember that Schaefer had his own manhunt mission, but then he was knocked into a coma. So we've been dealing with that this whole time. Next one we have is called Mission. Now, this is where Bridget Douglas practices recruiting Fei Lao for a secret mission. Now, the secret mission, we all know, is the Fei Lao manhunt mission, where she takes out the president. Here we go.
She can always say no. I won't be disappointed if she doesn't want to do it.
What we're asking her to do is less extreme than what she's already done.
It's gonna involve some role-playing and an uncomfortable outfit.
Nothing she hadn't done before.
Oof. She'll have to talk to him and be respectful and make him feel like the most important person in the world.
Okay, well that is a challenge. He's a fucking idiot.
He is.
But he is the president, and until he resigns and names his successor or dies, he is the only one with access and the authority to activate the ARC protocol.
Can we just call it the football? This clandestine naming shit is hard to follow and frankly kind of annoying.
Whatever makes you more comfortable.
Okay. So for this one, pretty simple. It's all about that manhunt takeover mission where she's trying to, work her way up to the president. We all know how that ends with the president dying. However, what we learned here is the ARC protocol. This, I've been told by multiple people, is like keywords for like nuclear codes and like stuff like that. Like the briefcase with, the switches for, the nukes. So pretty cool. This is all we really learn about it, the ARC protocol, and then Viper makes fun of it and says, can't we just call it the football? All of that, but it's really all we hear about it. So moving on to the next comm from last week. This one's called Green Light. And again, here is Bridget Douglas.
We're set? You got the green light?
Yes.
Faye Lau actually agreed to kill the President of the United States?
She agreed to play the politics, and, if necessary, kill Ellis. She refuses to call him POTUS. She'll go through Nat's test to join her new BTSU, test her skills as a leader, and to antagonize the shit out of Schaefer for Nat's pleasure.
What's going on there? I thought he was her most loyal soldier.
He got kicked from Ellis's security detail, so now she has to solve a problem he created. In Nat's mind, that makes you her sworn enemy.
Good to know.
Whatever you do not question her or break her systems. Efficiency at all costs. Acceptable loss is personnel. Her systems are infallible and cannot be questioned.
You make her sound like a psychopath.
Or a narcissist? Or undiagnosed autistic? Who the fuck knows? She just cannot accept that she got anything wrong. You spend your whole childhood with no one telling you no. It can turn you into a pretty privileged asshole as an adult. Give that adult unlimited resources and a private army, and well, here we are.
Woo! All right, tell us how you really feel. Now, this was obviously Bridget Douglas just venting about Natalia. Now, the thing about this that was telling is she wanted to bring on Faye Lau, get her accepted into the BTSU as one of those, Black Tusk rogue agents. And then she wanted her to interrogate Schaefer because Schaefer got cut from the president's personal detail. Now, who knows why he got cut from that detail, but it seems as if Natalia took that as a sign of disrespect or a sign of failure or a sign of weakness. And what she did is she's like, all right, I'll bring someone else in, ruffle your feathers, and see how you really tick. Pretty nasty stuff here. It was pretty weird how in the second one, right, we have all this signaling towards lesbians, and now in this fourth one, we have all this signaling towards autism. Very weird. Not only that, but during the week 4 scout, we had Anna say some weird stuff too about autism and things like that, and about lesbians in week 2. It was just very odd. I don't know why those were placed there. I don't know why it matters like that, but let's move on. Here is the 5th comm called Red Light, and this is with Bridget Douglas and Barton Schaefer.
You do not have to do this.
Yes, I do. We've come too far, and I'm not going to let all this be for nothing.
They're going to kill you.
Only if they find out. So don't tell them.
I don't like using you as bait.
You're the one who got me into this.
We're gonna die, aren't we?
And we're all going to die eventually. Might as well do it with a clean conscience.
It's not fair.
It's not the quantity of the time, it's the quality. So stop wasting time and enjoy what little we have left.
Isaac just turned on the red light.
I guess he thinks we're off mission. Stop wasting time with me. Go. Be with your girl. And maybe the last time.
You're right. I need to see Faye.
All right. So this, I'm assuming, would be right before the 3rd Manhunt mission. So the 3rd Manhunt mission, if we go back to our Manhunt and go to Legacy Missions, right before Boop-a-doo, Faye Lau, yep, we have Schaefer. So that comm had to have been right before the Coney Island Manhunt mission. Now remember, in the Coney Island Manhunt mission, he is still a part of the BTSU. However, this is when we first see hunters. There is a hidden hunter during this Manhunt mission, and you do get a hidden hunter mask by doing this Manhunt mission. Now, what happened here is that he kind of got, ambushed or so by hunters, and we end up taking not only the hunter out, but him, and then he goes into a coma. We take him to DC, and then later on during the Stovepipe Manhunt mission, they being the Black Tusk, Natalia and all of them go to the White House, and they try to take Schaefer back, because apparently he has some information that we want to know that Natalia does not want us to know. But that was actually all of the scouts from the first 5 weeks. Like I said earlier, I already did a video on all 5 of these weekly scouts during the PTS, and that's why I didn't really feel like I needed to cover them week by week after that, because I already told you guys all the details. So, moving on forward, we will be doing weekly scout videos. That way we catch everyone up, and we all get ready for that climax mission come week 11. But also, that will introduce the Birdie's Quick Fix exotic backpack. So that's going to be cool as well. Now, just to pull up the audio logs for Anna, let me just show you really quick. Here's week 1.
Agent, thank you for recovering Theo Parnell. I'll probably regret this sooner or later. We need to find Kelso. I mean, Cassandra. Anna's got a lead, but with everything that's happened, I don't expect her to just come back to the White House. Just try not to kill her. She has a lot of explaining to do. We owe her that much.
Agent, Cassandra left you a message in East Mall.
And then we finished East Mall.
Bridge is right. M&M does not deserve Vanguard. She may have a body, but she doesn't understand his soul.
All right. And then for week number 2, go back to the audio logs. Here's Anna again.
Cassandra left you a clue in Southwest.
And when we completed it,
I miss Bridge. Faye was so good for her. Why do they always fridge the lesbians?
and that was one of the first ones where I scratched my head and I'm like, why did that? Why? Like, why? Why do they have to fridge the lesbians? Why? Anyways, moving on. Here's week number 3. Go to the audio log. Here is Anna.
Cassie clue in downtown East.
And then once you completed it,
Apologies, Agent. KELSO Cassandra deleted the rest of the recording. She thought it was redundant.
week number 4. This was from last week. Here's Anna.
Cassandra left you a note in Federal Triangle.
And then once you completed that,
Isn't it unethical to diagnose a person's mental illness if you are not a licensed mental health practitioner? Being an asshole isn't a mental illness, so I suppose that's fine to add to the file. Updating personnel file of Natalia Sokolova. Personality traits, privileged asshole.
now that, of course, was piggybacking off of what Bridget Douglas said about her having undiagnosed autism. And Anna's like, well, you're just being an asshole just even bringing that up. But we'll add, privileged asshole to Natalia's file. Again, weird that it was even brought up like that, but it is what it is. And here is week number 5 for this week. And here's Anna one last time.
Cassie clue located in Constitution Hall.
And once you completed Constitution Hall this week, you got this.
Apologies, Agent. Bridge disabled her watch and ended the recording.
And that, my dear agents, is the first half of the Scouts for Year 6, Season 3, Burden of Truth. I showed you how to complete all 5 weeks. I even showed you a build for this week's Marksman Rifle eliminations. We have gone over the lore, so you are actually now caught up with the lore because they have not, let me double check, collectibles, comms, Descent, yeah, they have not updated Descent, so this is actually the only lore that we are getting right now in the game. So you are completely caught up, and you also heard what Anna said. Now, if you have any questions or anything like that for these Scouts, let me know in the comment section below. I will gladly answer them for you. But that's it for me. I'm Kamikazevondoom. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.